I always try to impart on those guys, listen, this is very invasive to what we do.
Yeah.
You know, we're going into customers' private space, where they eat, where they sleep, where they bathe. We have to make this as least invasive as possible and give them a great experience. And when they close their eye in the end product, we want them to think, yeah, man, am I glad I went to these guys did a great job. They took care of me. And we imparted a customer quality assurance that our designers call our customers every single week, and we ask them 3 questions. Are the guys showing up on time?
Yeah, wow, it's big.
Are they keeping it clean? Do you have any questions or concerns? Because if you do, I want to take care of it immediately. I don't want it to linger to the end and then have a 20-item punch list. We want to take care of it immediately.
Positively West Virginia is powered by Breezeline high-speed fiber internet and sponsored by Highmark West Virginia, Freedom Key of Morgantown, Interaction Media, and Storymaker. With the help of these sponsors, we are able to share the positive business stories of West Virginians, including the one featured in today's episode.
Well, folks, we're visiting today with Mike Caputo. He's the owner of Mike's Kitchen, Bath, and Fireplace in Clarksburg, West Virginia. Mike, thanks for being on the podcast today.
Buddy, you are quite welcome.
I
Thank
love
you
it,
for
man.
the invite.
Yeah, it's great to have you in here in the studio, and I look forward to discussing your business, your origin, and how you built this company since 1986. Mike, tell us a little bit about what you do at Mike's Kitchen, Bath, and Fireplace.
Well, we're in the, obviously, kitchen and bath business, and we evolved into the hearth products.
Hearth products, yeah.
But basically got started in 1986, worked first 4 years by myself. Then we eventually started evolving. Yeah. And my wife was my first employee.
All right. Charlotte. That's great.
And then we eventually hired another salesperson. And now at Mike's Kitchen and Bath, we have 2 full-time designers. We have a full-time estimator. We have a full-time assistant to the estimator. We have 3 lead carpenters, and we have 6 helpers.
Wow.
And we have a full-time truck driver.
Great team.
And so it is a good team.
That's great.
And then,
Mike,
yeah.
How did you get in? What inspired you to get into this business in the first place?
Well, as we discussed a little earlier, my father was a bit of an entrepreneur. He was his main business was a grocery business.
Yeah.
But he was always looking for new opportunities, and he had started a company called Creative Building Supply, and they brought panelized housing to the area. And the panelized houses event, he was always in the grocery business, so he was always a merchandiser. So he thought, we have all this inventory, so let's just start getting into some retail in addition to the houses. So they started selling plywood and siding and the windows, the stuff that they had in stock to build the houses. And then it kept morphing into more and more and more.
Wow.
So as time marched on, and grocery business got a little tougher for small independent guys, I kind of gravitated over to creative and kind of saw, I was kind of drawn to it a little bit. The kitchens, they were pretty, the ceramic tile was, and there was a bit more margin in that business than the grocery business. Sure. And that's kind of how I got into it. And then I kind of made the move to get away from the grocery business and go full time into the kitchen and bath business.
Yeah. So you're a lifelong resident of Clarksburg. Now you own your business in Clarksburg since 1986. You graduated from Notre Dame High School in Clarksburg. From there, where did you go?
Well, I basically I joined the Army Reserve because it was 1970.
Yeah.
And I was 17 years old. I did my 5.5 months at Fort Polk, Louisiana. Came back home and went to work for my dad, worked in the warehouse. He had a big warehouse, and then eventually got married at 19. Yeah. Me and my wife been married for 52 years.
Amazing.
And I basically went to the grocery business. I just worked for my dad. And then, like I was telling you, he was an entrepreneur, so it migrated over to creative and kind of got a taste for that and it really appealed to me.
It was really in your blood.
Yeah, it was in my, and I thought,
Yeah.
I think I can do this.
That's awesome. So fast forward to today, what specific things are you best known for at Mike's Kitchen, Bath, and Fireplace now?
Well, when we first started, it was basically just selling. We just sold hardwood, cabinets, ceramic tile. But I was kind of at the mercy of general contractors.
Yeah. You would sell it and they would have to install it.
Then I would have to, Mr. Matuga would come see me. Mike, we want 300 foot of hardwood. I'd have to go try to dig somebody up to get it installed.
Yeah.
Well, I was always being put on the back burner because obviously they had their customers.
Yes.
So finally, and I really sweat bullets over this one. The thing that probably saved my business was installed sales. And we started with one fella, and then we eventually morphed into, now we have 3 lead guys and 6 helpers.
Yeah.
But that's the thing that saved our business was installed sales.
Yeah, because that way it's
Because
turnkey solution.
People want a turnkey. Our customers in the business, the way we refer to my business is we're a more middle and upper end showroom. People that are maybe 35, 40 years and older that have kind of been around, kind of into their life work, and now they're ready. Now they have a very clear-cut idea of what they want.
Hey, exactly.
And then they come in to see us, and we walk them through the project. Well, our deal is we design it, we sell it, we install it.
I love it.
And then you only have to talk to us. You don't have to worry about a plumber coming in or we do the whole thing.
Yeah.
We do from demo to putting the mechanicals like electric, plumbing, drywall, painting.
Really, all of it.
We do it
Turnkey.
all. We don't have to go outside for one thing.
Mike, what's interesting to me about that is, I talk a lot about, entrepreneurship is about falling in love with the problem, not the solution. You fell in love with the problem. You realized that you had a problem, but the consumer had a bigger problem. They wanted it turnkey, and you created a solution.
Well, you got to become the smartest guy in the room real quick.
Yeah.
Because
I love that.
They all
That's
look
perfect.
at you.
Yeah.
Yeah, when there's how do we fix it? And generally, it's never, again, as good as what it looks. It's never usually as bad as it.
That's right.
So you take a step back and you get your team and you analyze and you figure it out.
And of course, now you're doing, bathrooms, right? Remodel
Do
projects
master bath,
and the
kitchen.
hearth products and the fireplace situations too. So what would you say is your 30-second pitch? In other words, if you meet somebody for the first time at a, networking event or a cocktail party, what do you tell them you do?
Well, we it's all about customer service and the customer experience.
Yeah.
We try to be good listeners to see what their vision is, and then we want to put the round peg in the round hole and a square peg in a square. We don't want to oversell you, but we don't want to undersell you. So it's our job to, give us your vision, but then maybe suggestions of things you didn't think about.
Yeah.
Quality of life issues.
Yeah. And there's so much in the design aspect, for traffic patterns, how you're going to use the space, and whether it's a kitchen, are your family going to assemble around this table or a big island or something like that.
It's like you say, your quality of life issues.
Yeah, exactly.
When as your family evolves, your needs and requirements
They change.
evolve.
Yeah.
Your kids aren't babies forever, then they grow.
That's right.
And so you try to, through your experience, offer suggestions to help the people digest it and say, never thought of that one.
Yeah.
Where quality of life is,
great.
like in older folks, do you want pull-out shelves? Do you want, everything within, is this conveniently low traffic patterns?
Yes.
How you, holiday, Thanksgiving, are you going to use this as a buffet?
How
Then
do you
clean
use the
up.
space?
How are you going to do this?
I love it.
Yeah.
That's very, very thoughtful and really thought inspiring too. So Mike, thanks for sharing that. We're going to take a quick break for our sponsor mentions with Positively West Virginia. We'll be right back.
Your prescriptions are designed to keep you healthy, active, full of life. At Highmark Blue Cross Blue Shield, we're making vital medicine more affordable. Because when your prescriptions don't cost an arm and a leg, you can use those limbs for something more meaningful. Because life. Highmark Blue Cross Blue Shield, West Virginia.
It's in the precision, the attention to detail, and the confidence that create a timeless look. Like Diamond Cuts Barbershop, Freedom Kia of Morgantown is not only committed to timeless design, but also fair pricing, excellent sales, and service with no hidden fees. You'll love the all-new 2024 Kia Sportage LX all-wheel drive leasing for just $265 per month. Wherever it is you're going, arrive with confidence and arrive in style. Visit Freedom Kia today, right off exit 153 on I-79 in Morgantown.
And we're back, folks. Today, our guest is Mike Caputo. He's the owner of Mike's Kitchen, Bath, and Fireplace in Clarksburg, West Virginia. Mike, let's jump right back into it. You know, over the years, since 1986, what are some of the trends you're seeing now that are popular in your business? In other words, with kitchen design, bath design, what are you seeing?
Basically, we are in the heart of the hardwood country.
Yes.
Oak, cherry,
West
maple,
Virginia,
hickory.
yeah.
So West Virginia, we hang our hat on our hardwood business. As Morgan, you live here in Morgan,
Morgantown,
as Grant, you got a little more sophisticated customer. So some of the, what we used to call European look, the frameless cabinets and painted. In Morgantown, it's a little different. People want that more of a designer oriented. Mm-hmm. When you go back up into the more rural areas, it's still pretty much the hardwood. They like the oak, cherry, maple, and hickory. Yeah. But we are in the home fashion business. Yeah. Basically, the showroom is always in transition. Something's going, something new's coming in. So we attend some trade shows. You go to the Kitchen and Bath Industry Show, and you kind of see the latest and greatest. But then we got to think, well, where do we live? How does this apply to us? Yeah. What can we give our customers a little taste of it without going over the edge? Right, yeah. We got to maintain what we're all, but also show them, hey, we can do that stuff too. Yeah, so that's really basically cool. Yeah.
And where is your showroom located?
It's in Clarksburg on US 19 North.
Yeah, that's great. And we're going to make sure we have all that contact information at the end of the show. We'll give you an opportunity to talk about that. Mm-hmm. So, when you think about your geographic reach, in other words, where do your customers live? How far do you serve?
We call, from our showroom, ground zero, we go at least 50 miles north, south, east, and west. So we basically on the outer perimeter about 100-mile radius. If you look at it from the two farthest points,
that's great.
But we've done jobs again. Built our clientele over the years. We've had jobs up in Upper St. Clair in Pittsburgh, Charleston, St. Clairsville, Ohio, Weirton. We've done, but the majority of our business is within 50 miles.
What's one of the most memorable things you've done since you've been in business? Like, was it a big kitchen or was it a crazy job that you were working on?
Well, we did a big job. It's okay to mention names. Sure, yeah. We did a couple jobs. We did a job for Ike Morse when Ike built his home, and that was probably the biggest job we ever did.
Was that in Glenville area?
Glenville, right. And then we did a nice job on a commercial side for John Jenkins. John Jenkins, the Subaru Hyundai guy. Yeah. We did a huge remodel job there. Yeah. So we can touch on residential and small commercial jobs.
So it could be everything from,
from a set of gas logs to a toilet to a $500,000 job.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love it. That's very cool. Mm-hmm. So when you've been in the business a long time, 38 years. Mm-hmm. How do you attract new customers? I mean, you have, because like you said, turning a customer, you buy a kitchen, you're not going to replace that every other year, right? It's going to be a 25-year plan or something like that. How do you attract new business?
Well, Jim, we talked about customer service customer experience. Right. And, referrals, we do print, we do TV, and we're hopefully our website that you're going to help us out. Yeah. But the main flagship thing is referrals. Yeah. If you can do a good job, here's what I tell the guys and girls. Everybody's got a mother and a father, a brother and a sister, an aunt and an uncle. And if you do a good job, one good job will get you 10. Yeah. One bad job will lose you 20 because bad news travels faster than good news.
Yeah, we have a mutual friend, Johnny Rominger with
Johnny's
Bad Lizard,
great
Granite
guy,
and Quartz,
terrific guy.
And you know, we before I knew you, we had a kitchen remodel, and Johnny did all of our countertops.
Beautiful work.
And the centerpiece is this beautiful piece of a marble stone that he put on our center island.
Yeah.
And he said, this will be the thing that everybody comments on. And when you know it, like every person that comes in their house, they put their hands on that marble and they say, I love this. Where did you get it?
Right.
That's a referral, right? And I say, Bad Lizard, Granite and Quartz.
Johnny has built a hell of a business, and he's a great guy.
Great guy. Well, it sounds like you've done the same thing, Mike. So appreciate that. Yeah. What's in terms of growing your business right now? What's one of the biggest challenges you face?
Well, you know, I use that expression, you got to get in where you fit in.
That's right.
And where we win is the customer experience, is turnkey job, giving the customers what they want at somewhat price what they want in a timely fashion.
Yeah,
sure. And then over the years, we've expanded our offering. When I first started, it was basically a lot of ceramic tile and kitchen cabinets. And then we evolved into the bath business. And then we went into closet systems. And then I literally brought granite to the area in 1996.
No kidding.
I installed granite for 7 years myself.
Wow.
We used to get it out of Philadelphia.
Yeah.
But anyway, so we saw that opportunity
really
by going to the kitchen bath industry
shows.
shows.
Is the key there then the takeaway, you know, listening to the customer,
right,
finding out what they want, and then being able to provide that
right
to them
in your industry?
Yeah,
you gotta if you're going to be in business, you got to see, okay, if you have a showroom space is valuable. So if I'm going to put something on display, I got to make sure, is this thing going to pay for itself? Yeah. So the investment, is it going to attract customers? Am I going to be able to make any money with it? I mean, you got to look deep into it in your product offering.
Yeah, I think that's really important because a lot of people don't realize when they walk into your showroom that you actually buy all the cabinets there that are on display.
Absolutely.
And that's an investment that you're making to show people what the vision looks like, right? Give them some idea starters, right?
You know, it's the latest and greatest.
That's right.
It's, in other words, you know, as I explained to you, the showroom's always in transition. So you got to kind of keep yourself up to speed with what's happening in your industry. You know, what's trending? What is this, you know, painted cabinets up in the Northeast and New England? That's a big deal. Not in the South. It's kind of coming this way now. I mean, it's for a while. Yeah. But, I mean, you got to keep fresh. You got to keep invested into the business.
Is it true, like, you know, with the advent of like HGTV and things, you know, like social media, people see stuff, they have access to new ideas, and they're probably coming to you saying, hey, can we do this? And you're
right.
Yeah, we
right.
can do that.
Because it's out there in HGTV and the do-it-yourselfers. But that sometimes kind of helps us. It is, because it's not that easy. And when people get into it, we've had to pull them out of the fire a few times. But that's okay.
Yeah,
you know.
That's great stuff. Mike, we're going to take another quick break to mention our sponsors for Positively West Virginia. Folks, we'll be right back.
My name's Caitlin Furby. I'm an interior designer with Remarkable Interiors. Our time is very limited. We're trying to do everything we can possible to keep our clients' projects moving and rolling. So Storymaker has been really great for us for putting out how to explain our company. I can sit and agonize about a post. And is this right? Does this sound good? When I use Storymaker, it sounds so beautiful and it was so easy, and it saves me a lot of time to do the things that I'm really good at.
Stay connected with an unbeatable deal from Breezeline. Get reliable, fiber-powered 500 megabits internet for $39.99 per month with a $100 gift card and price lock guarantee, plus a free modem, free installation, and free Wi-Fi your way. Folks, you know, here at Interaction Media, we're a media company, and we rely on high-speed internet every single day to get our jobs done. That's why we use Breezeline. It's affordable, it's fast, and they're awesome people as well. Learn more at breezeline.com. Folks, we're back once again with Mike Caputo. He is the owner of Mike's Kitchen, Bath, and Fireplace in Clarksburg, West Virginia. Mike, I'm really enjoying our conversation. You've got such a wealth and depth and breadth of wisdom in being an entrepreneur. And I love the fact that, you kind of watched your father go through all of his entrepreneur ups and downs, right? With the grocery business and then the creative building supply business and all the other things he was involved in. What's one piece of advice that you would give to maybe a young person listening to this podcast, or maybe it's somebody thinking about starting a business? What's one piece of advice you would give them?
What I would give them is if you want to go into business, you got to find something that people want.
Yes.
And you can't be a 2 or 3 month a year thing. It's got to be a 12-month thing. How am I going to make a living for 12 months in a year? People get into seasonal business. Say like you get in the ice cream business. Okay, well, that's good for a few months, but what are you going to do the rest of the year? So you have to find ways to sustain yourself, to, a product offering. So I know what, do the research, find out the good, the bad, and the ugly of it. Because those three things always happen. If it was easy, it's like fishing in a barrel, but what happens when it doesn't go right?
If it was easy, everybody could do it.
Everybody would do it, know. And you're going to face adversity. I don't care what business you're in. Life gets in the way, and you got to be able to deal with it. And when I always say I always tried to invest in myself because I was the only guy I could really depend on.
Yeah. A lot of times in the world today, you hear, people kind of like a victim mentality, this is happening. How can I struggle? The struggle is real. You hear all this stuff. A lot of times they're thinking life is happening to them. It seems to me like, Mike, you're a guy that life is happening through you.
Right.
Instead of to you.
We try to impart on our people, when you say, well, I'm going to work today, like there's this yoke around your neck. If you got to go, if you don't like what you're doing or really, and I know you don't love everything, but if you don't like, then I'd find a new business or a new trade or a new job
path,
because you shouldn't have to go to work every day and feel like drudgery. It should be an opportunity to win, to succeed. And it's my job to keep my people invested. I have to somehow keep it fresh, keep them interested, give them opportunity, listen to what they have to say. Try to, girls, what do you need? What can I do to help you make your experience better and the customer experience better?
Because that's what it's all about.
It's all about the customer experience, and when the installers
Full
go,
circle.
and I always try to impart on those guys, listen, this is very invasive to what we do. We're going into customers' private space, where they eat, where they sleep, where they bathe. We have to make this as least invasive as possible and give them a great experience. And when they close their eye and the end product, we want them to think, man, am I glad I went to these guys did a great job. They took care of me. And we imparted a customer quality assurance that our designers call our customers every single week, and we ask them 3 questions. Are the guys showing up our time?
Wow. It's big.
Are they keeping it clean? Do you have any questions or concerns? Because if you do, I want to take care of it immediately. I don't want it to linger to the end and then have a 20-item punch list. We want to take care of it immediately.
That's brilliant wisdom and advice. If anybody's listening, write that down, those 3 things. Mike, that's great. Thank you for sharing that. When you think about your business, being in business for 38 years, what's the vision you have? What's the long term look like for you?
We have tried to build a brand. With quality, and when my time is over, which I'm 71 years old,
you got the energy of a 41-year-old.
But I'd like to see it continue. The next young guy that comes in, take it to another level. I did about as much as I could do with what I had to work with, of trial and error. But a lot.
Do you have a succession plan now?
We're just trying to
put that in place now.
Put it in place.
It's an important part of business, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, nothing lasts forever.
That's
I mean,
Well-
I think we got a great foundation, and for the next young fella to come in, I think they've got to, we're poised and ready to do more business.
Yeah,
And
I love it.
Yeah,
Well,
so
in the book 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, Dr. Stephen Covey, one of his habits is begin with the end in mind, and that's why I asked the question, because sometimes that's an important question to ask, right? What does the end game look like? And a lot of entrepreneurs don't really think about that. They're just grinding away, like you said. They've got a good thing going, and but it's kind of something that I think all business owners need to be thinking about is the end game, the exit strategy, if you will, right? We don't want to think about it, we don't want to plan for it, but we need to.
well, we have to.
You have to,
Reality sets in.
Yeah. One of the worst things that I see day in and day out in entrepreneurship is when you have a successful business and it closes. Like, why did that thing close? That always worried me. I worked in the newspaper for a long time, and I had this one customer. He never would advertise with me until the day he was getting ready to go out of business. And he said, I'm going to run some ads. I said, why now? You're going out of business. Why didn't you?
Well, I look at it kind of as opportunity. And me and my wife, we got our kids raised, educated, and married, and they're doing great.
That's amazing.
But the folks that work for me, I'm the oldest guy there.
Yeah.
So they're kind of like our work family.
Yes, of course.
So the
You spend
girls,
time with them.
we spend a lot of time with them, and they have young families, and they have a young husband or children. And we want to try to help them, pay it forward. Try to create a good atmosphere where they can make a good living. Basically, another thing we did was we're only open 40 hours a week. We're open Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. No nights, no weekends, no holidays. And I did that for a reason, because they have a life. And I don't want their work to be their life.
Yeah.
I want them to be proud that they work at Mike's Kitchen Bath, but they also have, life issues. They want to go see their kids' ball game. Their kids like ice cream the same way mine do.
Exactly. Yeah.
So
That's
they
great.
have to have a life.
Treat others the way you want to be treated.
Treat
It's the golden rule.
100%.
I love
and
it.
you got to take care of your people.
Mike, we've covered a lot in this interview. I'm very impressed with your story. I love your energy. I love your
Thank you.
vision. I love the company and what you stand for, the customer experience. Is there anything else you think our listeners should know about your story?
Well, guys, it's just if you want it, you got to go out there and go after it. But know what you're doing. Do your due diligence. Know the product you're trying to sell and the market you're trying to appeal to. Yeah. That's basically, and great customer service. The customer service and the customer experience.
I love it, man.
No customers, no payday.
Absolutely. As we close out our time, Mike, how can our listeners learn more about Mike's Kitchen, Bath, and Fireplace?
Well, we're open there Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. Come on down and we'll show you around. And
you guys have a website.
We're going to have a beautiful website.
That's great. We'll make sure we have links to all that in the show notes, as well as your address and your phone number and all that kind of stuff, so folks can get in touch with you. Come down to Mike's Kitchen, Bath, and Fireplace in Clarksburg. Mike Caputo, it's been a real honor to have you on our show today.
Jim, I can't thank you enough.
I love your story,
great,
man.
Great
I love just
experience
talking with you.
for me.
Well,
thank you so much.
And I want to encourage folks to come down and give your company a shot if they're looking for a wonderful kitchen, bath, or a fireplace in West Virginia, 100-mile radius of Clarksburg, basically. Yeah. And have a great experience, customer experience.
That's it.
Mike, I really, like I said, have a great admiration for you. I want to encourage you to keep up the great work.
Appreciate it.
We'd like to thank our partners, Highmark West Virginia, Freedom Kia of Morgantown, Interaction Media, Storymaker, and our studio sponsor, Breezeline, for helping to share these positive stories. If you'd like to become a sponsor of the Positively West Virginia podcast, visit positively.wv.com/sponsor.
Folks, that's a wrap on another episode of Positively West Virginia. If you or someone you know would be a great guest on the show, drop us a line on our website at positively.wv.com. And of course, we appreciate your notes, your comments, your positive reviews, 5 stars on all the podcast platforms. On behalf of our entire Positively West Virginia team, including our producer today, Mr. Hampton Hill behind the controls, I'm your host, Jim Matuga. Stay positive, West Virginia.